Welcome to week 2 of the 30-day challenge on increasing your impact, influence, and income in that specific order. And so we actually train in that order as well. Now, if you haven't completed your goal setting in this last week, you're going to want to go back and do that first, because everything is set up proprietarily in an order to give you the best possible results. Now, at this point, you're clear on what you want. You're clear on why you want it, and now we're moving into the stage of how you're going to actually get there. And most people out there that don't get on training videos like this, they sit there and tell you first focus on income. And then they say once you have income, then you can go out there and make an impact with it, or an influence and gain influence, and then you're going to go out there and make an impact. They say that first you have to go out there and hustle to try to make money. Go out there and get a job. Go out there and create a business that you don't really care about. And then they tell you to go out there and use that money or use that success to go gain an influence, to then make that influence turn into an impact. We flip that the exact opposite, because what we found with our men, thousands of other men that have gone before you, along with myself, when we focus on impact first, it gives us the greatest results. So let's jump into it. Impact first starts with yourself. You know that you are here because first you want to make an impact in yourself before you go out and make an impact in others. But here's the key. Inside of a business, inside of this message that you have as a leader, as a man that has a message, and you are the person that's carrying it, we have to be excited about that message. We want a message that can last 20 years. And maybe at this point you've started a business, you've done some things in the past, or maybe you're even doing something right now that's crushing it, but inside, it's not what you actually want to do. It's not something that you love talking about. It's not something that you're motivated by. So what if I could show you something where you're communicating, where you're doing something, speaking a message that you can speak year after year after year, and you know the people that you're trying to reach. You're motivated, you wake up every day excited, and that's when we focus on impact first. I remember just a few years ago, the first thing that I focused on was income. I focused on influence before I focused on impact, because everyone told me that was the way I had to do it. I remember going out there and creating a product and service and thinking, how can I sling this out and get people that want to buy it? And once I make money, then I'm going to be able to go and gain influence. And then I'll be able to go out there and actually do what I want, maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe 40 years from now. But we don't have any time for that. And we end up getting to this place where we're burnout, we're broken, and we don't know what we want to do going forward. So the first thing to start out with is not just the impact in yourself, what you're doing right now, but it's actually the impact you want to create in others. Here's why. I needed to first figure out what was my mission or vision inside of my company and inside of my life that was bigger than a product or service. What was that thing that was going to get me to wake up every single morning? And as you can see here, this is the fruit of that. First, I started off with just going out there and trying to make money, trying to sling a health product, trying to sling whatever would make money and get me by. But then I decided I needed to do something bigger, something greater. I was sick and tired of talking about enter whatever it is you have to talk about all the time right now inside of your life and business. It gets tiring. But when you have a mission and vision that's bigger than a product and service, then you can talk about that all the time. And the best part is when we get to the next sections, you're going to be able to solve that problem with a product or service. So first, figure out and write down who are the people that you're looking to impact, and what is the impact that you're looking to create. See, at BDB, what is it? Redefining what it means to be a businessman. If I could change one man, yourself, I could change one house. First, it started with myself. If I could change one house, I could change a city. And if I could change a city, I could change a state. And if I could change a state, we could change a country. And together, we can change a world. But do you know anything about a product or service? No. You know about that mission and vision and the impact that we're looking to create, not just in the world, but inside of each man. So here are the 5 things that you're going to want to do to create massive impact that you're able to go after for the next 20, 30, 50, 100 years. Doesn't matter what age you are. The first thing you want to start with is, what have you gone through in the past? What are the things you overcome? And out of that, you're going to create your vision. So that's number one, vision. What is that thing that you're looking to create? What's that problem that you're looking to solve? What's that thing that gets you fired up inside? Because I guarantee right now there's lots of people out there that are talking about that same exact thing. But if they're talking about it the old school way of thinking about income and then influence and then impact, they're going to be lackadaisical. They're going to look sickling. They're going to look weak. They're not going to have that same motivation that you have. But that thing that fires you up inside, what is that vision? Cast that vision of what you want to accomplish. It's like driving from San Diego to New York. Unless you have directions, you're going to end up going down a lot of cul-de-sacs. And most people go through their life that way, but not you. So first figure out what's that end destination that you're looking to get to, what's that thing that you're looking to solve, what's that overarching theme that you can talk about over and over again. That's number one. The second thing is figuring out, based on your skill set, what you've experienced, what you've overcome, what are you good at? Nobody in this game wins if they are not good. The best thing is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I don't need you to be the best. As you've seen from my story, I was terrible on video. I couldn't speak. I was 60 pounds overweight, didn't have a girl. All these things you can overcome, and they'll be part of your story. But first, it's starting out with the very thing that made you win. See, for me, when I first started out, I didn't go out there and teach about income. I didn't go out there and teach about marriage because I hadn't experienced those things yet. I started off first with my skill set. I was 60 pounds overweight. I lost that weight in 6 months. So what value did I have to bring to the world? What impact could I create? The very thing that I experienced that held me back. Year after year, sitting in my bedroom every single summer, not being able to go outside because I hated the way that I looked. The clothes that I wore, the sweaters that I wore every single day during the summer because I hated the way that my body looked. Even after I got fit, the mental struggles of still covering up my body, still wearing an undershirt because I hated the way that I looked. Nobody else can talk as passionately about that because they haven't experienced it. And nobody else can teach the breakthrough the way that I can. Why? Because I went through it. So what are the things that you have gone through? And the second part is, what are you good at? What is something that you've achieved that's duplicatable for someone else just as this is duplicatable for you? The third thing is, what do you like to do? Create a list of the things that you actually enjoy. And I look at this list, these 5 things, as almost like filters. Like if you go to a site in Amazon and you're looking for something specific, you put on the filters. You put on the filters of the vision that you're looking to create. You put on the filters of the things that you're great at and the things that you've overcome that you can duplicate that someone else can do. You put on the filters of what you love to do, what you're passionate about, what you're excited about. Because like I said, if you're not extremely passionate and excited about it, someone else is going to be. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, it doesn't matter how good you are at it. Let's start with figuring out, what are you good at? After we figure that out, we move on to number 4. Number 4 is figuring out, what are all the ways that I can get there? This is going to save you 5, 10, 20 years on all your competition. How many people do you know out there right now that have done thing after thing after thing after thing? Maybe they succeeded, maybe they failed. If they succeeded, they got to the end of that rope and realized it was never something they were passionate about and they burned it to the ground. Or maybe they never had the motivation in the first place and they never made it successful. So they start business after business, relationship after relationship, health challenge after health challenge, never to make progress. But they make incremental results. It's because they haven't figured out every single way to get there. Every single way that they can create that impact that they want. What's every single way that you can think of to create that impact? Think about this. One person says he wants to reunite families in a way where they can connect, where they can get together, where they can have great conversation. One person who's shallow-minded, who thinks income, then influence, then impact, sits there and doesn't get on trainings like this. They go, well, why don't I become a coach on how I can coach people to get connection in their family? While someone else goes through this process that you're going through right now, and instead of failing 100 times, thinks about every single possible solution they can get there, and even thinks about the fact that they could start a restaurant, and inside of that restaurant it can be built around family and the messaging around family, where people go to create purpose, to create clarity, to create a place where people are present. And they didn't just stop with that very first thing that everyone else was doing. So now you've got number one, the vision. What is the thing that you're really looking to create over the next 50 years? What is the impact that you want to create in the world? What is something that you're extremely passionate about? Number two, what's the thing that you're looking to create? What's the thing that you're really good at, that you've already done, that you've overcome? What is something that you've accomplished that you're absolutely a master at? And remember, being an expert is just knowing more than the person that you're teaching. Number three is, what do you like to do? Because if you don't like to do it, there's going to be someone else out there that does. And even if you're more talented, even if you work hard, they're going to overtake you. But the best thing is you can be that person, because the majority of your competition right now are not excited. Number four, or what are all the ways that you can get there? What's every single way you can get to that vision? Now, if we throw those filters on, we have the first four filters, which means that you have a vision, what you're good at, what you love to do, in every single way possible, creatively, through your friends, through this training, through this refinement, through the brotherhood, through people that have you already done it before. Out of all those things, what's left? If you filter every possible scenario that you can get to that vision through what you're good at, what you've accomplished, and what you love to do, you take 500 different options. I've literally seen people do 500 different options of how they can get from A to B to that end vision. You take all those options and you narrow it down to maybe 3, 2, maybe you're as bad as I am at life and you just have one. Because the things that you've overcome, the things that you're good at, what you like to do, it really narrows everything down. And at this point you have complete clarity on the message you want to speak, the impact that you want to create. And this is what happens from here. Number 5 is building on top of that impact and serving those people. When you speak about the message that you want to make an impact in, when you speak what you've done and teach it for other people to have breakthrough, you're going to have breakthroughs in other areas. The best part is that becomes your next thing that you do. I told you that when we first started out, I was 60 pounds overweight. So the first impact I had to create was the impact in myself, what you're doing now and you've done in the past. Then from there, I didn't go and teach about wealth. I hadn't created a business. I didn't go teach about relationships because I hadn't been married. I first started with what I had done. I spoke that message and went out there and solved that problem. But through solving that problem, I ended up waking up one day and realizing I was married for 5 years to a beautiful woman, that we had built a successful 7-figure business, and realized that now the spectrum of the impact that I can create based on what I've actually done, what I'm good at, and what I like to do has expanded. But because of the message of impact that I am speaking that's bigger than a product or service, all I have to do is bring those things to the very people that I'm serving. Because the people that I'm going to attract with this message are the people that need this next step, that need that next breakthrough. And you know what the best part is? The easiest thing to teach is something that you already know. Something that you've already experienced. The easiest content you'll ever create is the content that you've lived, that you've experienced, you've mastered, and you've overcome. So make impact number 1. Make your vision of the impact you're looking to create number 1. Make the impact that you've created in yourself and the impact that you keep creating in yourself number 1. The second thing, figure out what are you really good at? What have you overcome? What can you teach to others that you've actually accomplished? What do you love to do? What could you keep doing over and over and over again? Now figure out every possibility that you can think of to get to that impact you're looking to create. Filter it through those 3 filters. Is this creating the impact I want? Is this something I've overcome and that I'm a master at? Is this something I can speak about every freaking day because I'm excited about it and I know that I've overcome it? You'll eliminate all those options until you have complete clarity on a mission and vision that you can speak about day after day, week after week, year after year, to create an audience of people and to create a story that you've overcome again and again. And through that message of the impact that you're looking to create, you're not only going to give yourself life, because at some point we need to stop learning. The only way we can keep growing is by teaching other people what we've learned. You have diminishing returns on just learning for yourself, breakthrough for yourself. If you want more breakthrough in your life, you have to give it away to others. It's first by creating that impact. And that fifth part is, as you're serving these people, you're going to keep on having breakthroughs. The only thing you have to do to keep growing, the only thing you have to do to keep growing the vision, the mission that's bigger than a product or service, is to continually serve these people in the areas that they need breakthrough and that you've experienced it already. Get ready for a week of impact in your life, in your message, and in the people that you're looking to impact as well. And get ready for next week's influence.